Good morning, everybody. How you doing? Wow, it's good to be back. Just getting this little setup right here. Perfect. All right. Wow. Well, it's been a couple days since I've streamed, guys. It's glad to be back in the sim. It's glad to be home. Thank you so much for the congratulations and all the support, guys. You guys are just awesome. I was telling my wife, hey, everybody at V1 Sim, they're all happy for us, and it means a lot to us, guys. Thank you so much for your support. If you are new to the stream, first stream, I've been away for a week or so. I just had a baby, so everything is good. She's healthy, wife's healthy, everybody is happy. A little bit tired, but not too bad. Just a couple of shout outs: Captain Geo, Spec Life, JCP123 in the chat here. Dougal is in the house. Glad to see you guys. Good to have everybody back on the stream. All right, so let's get right into it, guys. We've got a shorter flight today. We are in the Toliss A319. Let's get out of the terminal there. And this is the newest update, 1.33, I believe. So there's a couple of changes that we're going to talk about, and I'll kind of walk you through some of the change notes and everything. But I've already done a few flights with it, just testing it out, and it's really nice, guys. I'm really liking it. They really cleaned up some things systems-wise as well, like on the displays and such in here. So for your information, this is all default now. I was running the Tote to Mac texture mod and everything, but right now everything is default. The only thing that is not default is my FMC. From the old Tote to Mac mod, he redid the pop-out, I shouldn't even say FMC. He did the pop-out McDo. He made it a photoreal one, so I just transferred that file over because all this is just a 2D pop-out window right here, and I wanted the this nice one here. This one looks really, really nice. So that's the only file that I have modified. Everything else that you're looking at, though, is the default latest update from Toliss. A couple updates to sound, so we're going to do a full cold and dark, just getting everything turned on here for you. There's definitely some new sounds with being on the ground and avionics blower and things like that, so definitely an improvement over the last default sounds. We are in, just so you can have a look at my settings here, this is the I'm sorry, where's my audio visual? These are kind of my sounds. This is what I have set up. We are in the CFM engines today, though, so the IA engine sound pack that you can buy from Toliss is not going to be represented here today. This is the CFM engines, and we're flying an Alaska livery. The reason I had Alaska is because the only other airline that flies out of Dallas Love is Virgin America, and I think Delta had a few flights in and out of there as well. So Virgin America bought Alaska, or I'm sorry, no, Alaska bought Virgin America. So now their 319s are in the Alaska paint job, and you can actually see this is representative of Victor Alpha. That's for Virgin America, but new paint to Alaska. So we're going to take this out of Dallas Love. This is a default, I'm sorry, not a default scenery. This is an add-on scenery, guys, and it's free. It's from Vertical Simulations. Definitely go check it out. We're going into his Payware scenery in Corpus Christi. So that's going to be a lot of fun, but this is a freeware one that he has on his website that he did for Dallas Love, and it's really nice, so I like that. So, all right, let's get everything going in here. Vertical Sim is in the house. He says, did I see CRP in the title? Yes, you did. We are going down to Corpus Christi today. So let's get the aircraft fired up here, guys. Let's get the ADIRs aligning. I did a full cold and dark just so we can see and hear everything starting up. Let's go ahead and get that on. We'll go ahead and leave those off for now. We'll arm those. We are on external power for now. The Avi tab is set up here. Let's see. We are Dallas. Is it this one? Yes, it is. So we're not going to do Pilot Edge there in the ATC, guys. Because I've been a little tired, I just want to do a nice relaxing stream and just have a nice day testing out this new Toliss. So let's go ahead and load up the box here. Simone Tomba, congrats, Captain. Thank you, sir. Yep, Baby's good. Thank you on the congrats, guys. It's awesome. CFM for life. Yeah, I don't know about that, man. We'll see. Maybe when they get the BSS sound pack, hopefully. So, all right, let's initialize this airplane here. We're going from DAL to Corpus Christi, CRP. Corpus Christi is actually down near the coastline in southern Texas. And I've flown in there quite a bit when I was flying cargo, but not so much the airline world. I haven't flown in Corpus Christi from the airline, but as cargo I did. Super chat coming in. Mr. Manti says, next flight, can you go PDL airport to Lisbon airport? Ooh, maybe. You know, when we do the Lisbon, that's over in different continent. So when we get the Euro tour going for V1 Sims, we're going to be going all over Europe, guys. So don't worry, we're going to be all over there. We're going to fly down there today. It's a shorter flight. We're going to take it down at 290 for a cruise altitude. And what do we have for weather coming out of Dallas Love today? Sky condition 2,000 few, 1,200 few, 2,500 scattered. Oh, 25,000 scattered. 299er. And wind calm. So we're just going to go ahead and take off of, I believe it is 3-1 left. We're going to take off out of here. We're going to take the Ramber, was it? JK, where is it? Ramble 5. And we're going to take the Ramble 5 down to San Antonio. Transition. So let's go ahead and go into plan mode. Let's get our pop-outs back working like they should. San Antonio. Insert that. So now we can see coming out of Dallas here. Just an RNAV down south. After San Antonio, we are going to go direct to Skids intersection. Sierra Kilo India Delta Sierra. And then from Skids, we're going to proceed direct to CRP. But what we're going to do is we're going to load up the approach here. We're going to plan for the ILS 13 into Corpus. Insert. And now I tried doing this earlier. Let's see if it'll let me do it. I should. See, so this is one thing that I've noticed in the Toliss is I should be able to put an airport in my flight plan. So unfortunately, whenever I do this, it won't let me put an additional flight plan in, or additional airport in there. Slam Cannon coming in $10. Diapers and beer. Slam Cannon, thank you, sir. Definitely gonna need diapers and beer, man. Definitely. You can probably tell my voice is a little bit tired right now. I already had a cup of coffee. I'm feeling good, but definitely gonna be drinking some beer later today. But anyway, like I was saying, guys, yeah, when you get dispatched to an airport that you don't have an arrival to, what we normally do is just we throw in the arrival on the airport in our flight plan, but then we throw in an additional fix of the airport because you're probably going to be filed, your actual filed flight plan is going to be something San Antonio, Skids, direct. So I can't legally go from Skids to Jagru here on the approach. So in the real aircraft, we would put in KCRP, but I'm not able to do that with the Toliss, unfortunately. So we're just going to leave that discon in there right now, and then we'll connect it as we get later on down to our destination there. RadNav page, we got nothing too hard tune out of here. Can't do the secondary just yet. So initialization page B, let's take a look at the Toliss ISCS. We've got, let's take a nice full load of folks down there today. Let's really, let's fill this plane up. I haven't flown the Toliss fully loaded, really, I don't think. Let's load this puppy up. And 7,000 should be plenty of gas to get down there. That looks good. Let's do that. So this looks like our CG is going to be 30.1. Make sure we change this here. And our CG is going to be 62.1. I know we've talked about it a couple times. This is, whoa, out of range. What did I do wrong? 62.1. How is that out of range? Oh. There we go. Let's try 59.8. So the current Airbus, this is reversed, but this is accurate. Yeah, we want to get back in limits there. The current Airbus flying around, this is reversed. This is a very old software implementation that this actually used to be this way. I didn't even know it was until somebody showed me a video of them with one of the original software sets that came out for the Airbus, and this actually was how it was. So it's not incorrect. All right, so we've got initialization page B. We're going off of Dallas Love 3-1 left. We'll throw that in right there. And then for perf, we're going to do a config 1. And let's do a 145, 151, and 153. Flaps 1. And we're going to be flexing 65. That, I don't know how we got. Let's see. I wish this told you the runway remaining. We're going to do no flex takeoff. We're going to do it a full send again, because I haven't actually flown the CFM with doing, you know, toga. So let's go ahead and do it. Let's get the APU fired up. And I've got a little, let's see, where are we at? We'll fire up the APU. Mr. Manti says, you are good in Airbus, but are you good in Bombardier? I'm all right. I can fly it around. I don't know many Bombardier Addons 4X plane, so I haven't flown too many. I know I used to tool around in the CRJ 200 a little bit. The Garudin says, congrats to the kid. If you go to Europe, do you plan to do the Calvi-Dubrovnik approaches? Possibly, man. Possibly. We're going to spend a long time there, so we'll try to get in as many airports as we can. Because we're going to fly a couple airplanes over there, and we're just going to fly them all around, go to all these cool places. Bluemac says, why is Toliss trying to simulate an old software, though? Yeah, I don't know, Bluemac. I'm not sure why, but yeah, it is. It throws me for a loop, because every time I look at that McDo, I always want to flip that in my head, but I guess it is accurate. All right, let's get the bleed on. We've got our sternal power. We've got gas. Oh, I should have turned these on before starting the APU. I am just a little bit tired. Let's get the seatbelt signs on. That is already armed. We are aligning, and also got to turn on the radios here. I don't know why. Maybe in different airlines, or maybe in Europe, you guys turn the RMPs off, but we never turn those off. All right. So the floodlights. There's a few little sound. They've changed the background lighting. I don't know if you guys can see this, so I can. They've really done a good job getting the lighting on the background for the integral lights. That's new. You can hear that little clicking sound of the light when I change it there. That is new. Once we get airborne, I'm going to go through the changelog with you guys. We're going to squawk a new code of 2552. That is in standby mode. We can put this back here. Constraints, IRS align in 0 minutes. And how's our pushback looking? Let's pre-plan a pushback. All right, we're going to come straight back on the line.
Ground to cockpit. Plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
All right, so we're coming off of the terminal here. We're going to go off 3-1 left. So we're going to come out of the terminal, And taxi down Charlie, it looks like, all the way to 31 left. 8,800 feet available for takeoff. 2 999ers set in the box, which corresponds to 1016, so we can put 1016 right here. And that looks good. Alright, so just waiting. That is fully aligned now. GPS primary. There it is. And alright, let's go ahead and get the beacon on, run a checklist, and get out of here. Everything looks good. We no longer need external ground power, so we can turn that off here. 4-start checklist. Actually, we should do a pre-flight checklist. Maintenance log and tail number. Be on board and check. Gear pins and covers. We would check back here behind the captain's seat here. Make sure we have all our gear pins removed. Signs are on and auto. ADIRs are nav mode. Fuel. 6.5 required. 7.0 on board. Altimeters. 2 999ers set. And our EFB is checked. Pre-flight check is complete. 4-start checklist. Windows, doors, and slides. They are all closed and armed. Beacon is on. Thrust lever is idle. Parking brake is on for now. Transponder is going to be in transponder mode. 4-start check is complete. Let's get back from the gate here, guys.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Alright, I know you guys are asking about the updates. Let me just make sure we have enough fuel. Alright, 3.1, actually, we got enough gas to get there. Alright. Why is let's see, are you prepared to the new flight simulator of Microsoft, Mr. Banties? I don't know, man. It's too early. We've talked about it a couple times in this channel, but I just want to wait and see. Let's just wait and see if we get more information, and then we'll talk about it. But of course, I would like it to be good. I don't not want it to be good. So, yeah, I want it to be good, but we'll see. It's too early yet. Too early to tell. All right, I'm going to go through some of the changelog items here as we get ready for a pushback. Let me get a good spot for us. There we go.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
All right, he's going to connect. I'm just going to go through the changelog real quick, and then I'll show you individually. So the new features, they improved the APU gen representation on the APU SD page. When I talk about the SD page, it's the status pages or the lower ECAM. They cleaned up a lot of, I don't know if it was just old software that they modeled or just different things. So I'll just show you. It's easier if I just show you. Whoops, where's my, not that one. There we go. So when you come to the APU here, this screen is more accurate now. I don't remember actually even what was different. I think they had maybe some blocks on here.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Alright, brakes release, clear push. The biggest one to me is when I come to the flight control page here, they've cleaned up the aileron deflection indicators and a couple other ones, but basically these were, the little boxes there were solid white, which was, I don't want to say incorrect, but it's something I've never seen. So I don't know if it was modeled from a super early Airbus, you know, different software, because that's how they have their McDo, is a software that's very old school, probably an older FCOM that they were using as reference when they built the aircraft. So it's not inaccurate, it's just something that I haven't seen. But this is much more cleaned up now, looks really nice. They've done a lot of SD page changes. So Lucky 67T coming in, super chat. Wish all the best to your baby. Ready for sleepless nights. Oh man, I tell you what, it's I don't know if I can ever be ready, but we've had a few sleepless nights already, that's for sure. Last night wasn't too bad though. Last night wasn't too bad. But man, I'm holding my breath. We'll see how she does the rest of the week here. Let's go ahead and get the engine fired up here. I should probably clear that so we can see pressure. There it is. Boom. Let's start engine number 1. So all the SD pages are cleaned up. They added data ref information to the door models for you guys that are interested in that. The FMGS initialization is now possible in flight. So if you're doing, I guess that would refer to if you're doing a hot start or you're starting a flight in air, you can initialize the FMGs. There is new flare law, reworked based on new information. So we'll touch on that as we get into Corpus Christi and we get ready for our landing. I don't know exactly what they changed, but I've had much firmer landings, which isn't very good. So, but it doesn't seem inaccurate. So, just seems maybe a little harder to get the right flare down. I don't know what's going on with my pushback tug here.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Okay, brake is set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
All right, that was weird. So we'll talk about the flare law when we get down towards landing. But it feels good. I don't know exactly what they changed, but it feels good. They improved the autopilot altitude star, which is important. So basically, when you're climbing out and you're capturing an altitude, and you go into alt star, which reminds me we need to resequence this. The aircraft prior to this update was a little bit jumpy or jittery. Disconnect hand signals, please. I'm gonna turn my sounds up. The sounds I'm not very impressed with the default sounds anyway. What was I saying? Oh, the altitude star law. So the aircraft, when it would level off or descend, was very, I don't know, kind of jerky, and it did some things that I wasn't sure what was going on, but it seems to be much smoother now. So that has been reworked, which is really nice.
And have a safe flight.
They changed a couple liveries. They also changed some aircraft normals on the textures on the outside of the aircraft. So you could probably notice, I mean, this is nice and sharp now. It looks really good. This livery is just a free one that you get on their website as well. But I mean, the external modeling on this aircraft is up there with the best add-ons in X-Plane. I mean, it is really, really nice. All right, let's go ahead and continue our after start here. And, ooh, I'll show you this, the flaps. Let's see, let's get to a good flap view. So, I believe they've changed the way that some of the pylons work here. You see how the pylon actually slides down now? That's accurate. I don't believe it did that prior to this update. So I don't know if they changed the flap speed. They still look a little fast to me. But I know pretty sure they've adjusted these pylons here, the flap track fairings, with relation to the flaps being extended, which looks much more accurate now. All right, so we got our flaps set, and let's go ahead and turn off the APU bleed. All right, I'll get back to some of that stuff here after we get taxiing out. Let's get the aircraft airborne. We're going to have 10,000 feet first. Let's release the parking brake, and taxi light comes on. We are going to taxi on out to runway 31 left. So there is a BSS sound pack coming out. I cannot wait, guys. If you don't recall from the last stream, we actually had Comrade on here who is BSS. He did say it's going to be the CFM engines first for the sound pack. So that'll be nice because, I mean, they're okay. They're okay sounds, but they're definitely not awesome. Like, I don't know. I hate to say that because I know they've done a lot of work in the sounds, and I'm trying not to be negative, but if there was one spot to improve for me personally, I think it's getting some more sounds. All right, we got to make the left turn here. We're going to go all the way down to 3-1 on the left. We'll get straightened up here. We'll do a after start. We should have done that anyway. Engine ISOF, electric pump is off. Rudder trim is 0. Do an after start checklist. We did that, and now let's do our before takeoff. Flight control check. Full up. Full down. Neutral. full left, full right, neutral, rudders, full left, full right, neutral. So yeah, this flight control box looks much better. It's just been cleaned up. You know, the boxes look good. And I think the aileron displacement is fixed. I think maybe it was in the changelog where when you have the flaps extended, the ailerons only extend to the top of this box right here. And I thought that they did have that modeled previously, but maybe in updates it got blended in or something. But this looks nice and sharp now. So I know that's in the changelog. Let me get up my screen set up here for you. Thank you to whoever said that you minimize these by mouse wheel scrolling. I always wondered how to resize the PFD and ND. Alright, before takeoff checklist, gross weight comparison is complete. Pitch trim is 0.1% down. CG set. V1, a VR, a V2, a flex. We got 145, 151, 153. Toga set. Flaps, they are config 1 plus F. Flight instruments are checked. Flight controls checked. ECAM memo. Oh boy, we should have done our flow. That's why you do these checklists. I didn't even do the flow. So that comes down, that goes there. And make a PA. And also check it and do sound here. When you press the calls button, you get the ding. That is accurate. Maybe I didn't press that. There we go. ECAM memo. It is now takeoff. All green. ECAM status check. PWS is on. TCAS code set. TRI. Cabin crew advised. Mini brief is completed. Runway is going to be 3-1 left. Fuel 6.5 required. 6.9 on board. Engine mode selector is normal. Bleeds and packs are set. For takeoff checklist complete. Alright guys, we're good to go. IMDimitri, greetings from Vancouver, Captain K. A bit late today. Hey Dimitri, better late than never, man. Good to have you here. Good to have you here. Just getting underway here. You didn't miss much. Just kind of going over some of the changelog and pointing out some things. You didn't miss much. Let's get the lights on and let's get out of here. Man, I do wish I could use a mouse wheel on those lights up there. A little cloudy today. Alright, 3-1 left. It's in the pavement. Up to 10,000 feet on the initial climb out. Oh yeah, look at that lineup. Alright, nose forward on the stick, 50%. Send it. Mantoga, SRS. Runway. Auto thrust is blue. $80 knots, thrust set. Check it. Neutral at 100. I love the volumetric grass there on the sides. That looks good. I'm going to have to turn my real view down. A little shaky there. V1. Rotate. We're navving. Positive rate. Gear up. I'm going to throw the autopilot on just because I want to look around. Let's take a look outside. Beautiful Freeware airport there. Go check it out, guys. Vertical sim. It's really nice. I am using it in conjunction with the Forkboy ortho scenery for, I believe this is the Texas East region. Alright, looks like we are coming to lever climb. Thrust climb, auto thrust. All right. Good morning, Wojtek CVR from my favorite livery. Is it? Awesome. There's a flap retraction. Let's go flaps 0. After takeoff checklist, flaps are coming up. That looks good. That looks good. Flap 0, and we'll disarm the spoilers. That should have been done by the FO. Put the gear up. After takeoff checklist, gears up, flaps retracted, leads and packs are set. Takeoff check, complete. What do we got? We got a beeping noise. We got a marker on. We can turn that off. Alright. Aircraft is going to be in the left turn here. There she goes. Let's take a look out the left window. Just wrong side of the airplane. There's DFW. There's Dallas Fort Worth. Guys was talking about a sound on the parking brake release. I don't know. I don't recall hearing any sounds. Maybe you heard the ding from this right here, but not when I released the parking brake. I don't have any special sounds on. This is all default. Potato Pilot says cockpit textures are still really bad. I wouldn't say really bad, Cockpit Pilot. They are definitely a work in progress, but they are okay. I have not tried. Here's our speed all constraint star. Let's watch the aircraft level off here and make this constraint. And notice it's much smoother in the transition if we actually need it. I think we will. Here comes the all constraint star. So the Tote to Mac cockpit texture mod that was out, I don't know if it is compatible with the latest update, so I haven't tried it yet, but that one really does enhance the textures. I know it's linked in the description, but I think there's been some problems getting to that link. I don't know if it's been removed. I hope it hasn't been removed. But that mod did adjust quite a bit of texturing in the cockpit that brought it up to, I mean, the only other Airbus to compare it to would be the Flight Factor one, in my opinion. But let's see how smooth that transition was there, the Alt-Star. That's good. Let's take a look out front here. We're coming over Texas. Let's see, where are we? There it is. We're turning westbound. I believe is that 114? Lost my bearings a little bit. Where are we? Oh, we just went over DFW, so yeah, we're looking out the south side. Yeah, DFW is right behind us there. So DFW on the west side, Dallas Love Field is right out here on the east side. Hope these clouds don't mess up too much of our Forkboy view. All right, there we go. We're back into climb mode. Look at the nice transition. Thrust climb, climb. Looking good. Here comes another Alt-Star. I'm going to let it level so you guys can watch the leveling mechanics again. But it is much smoother than the previous version. This is nice. Looks very real. So I mean that's leveling 10,000. Vertical speed comes down. We go into altitude hold mode. A little bit of a hiccup there. Pretty darn good. All right, let's go ahead and climb out. Clear to climb, maintain for level 290. We're going to go open climb, out of 10,000 feet. Let's get the lights off. Ding the flight attendants out of 10. We are on our way. JCP123 says V1 Sims, also one of the devs said a McDo overhaul 1.4 for the Toliss. That is correct. I did speak with one of their guys that they're working with. I believe it's Matt Designs. He does a lot of the texturing and stuff like that. He did tell me as well that there is going to be the next update should include, I don't know if it's the next update, but at least in 1.4, they're going to overhaul this McDo. So I don't know what that entails exactly. I don't know why we have all dashes here. That doesn't look good. Is that really because there's a discon? Yeah. Oh, boy. I don't know why. That should have filled in anyway with the disco in there. Yeah, I'd be interested to see what their update is for the McDo, because I do think this airplane needs two major things, and that's sounds and this McDo. But everything else is coming together really nicely. Really nicely. 340 knots, we are hauling. Let's go ahead and slow that speed down and climb up a little bit faster. Let's go 300. But yeah, that seems pretty loud. How's the audio for you guys? That seems pretty loud. Let me turn it down just a little bit. Let's see, is that environmental? Yeah, we'll turn the environmental volume down just a little bit. So yeah, that new update should be nice for the McDo. I'm really interested to see where they take it. Side Market Studio says, when I reinstall, do I need a new serial number? I believe you do. I downloaded the whole airplane, and then I just did a basic reinstall, and it asked for my key and my email. So I, of course, went to the store and put in my aircraft registration and serial number, and no problems getting it installed. Slam Cannon says, I think the Toliss lacks a lot of ambient sounds. The cockpit just doesn't sound alive as it needs to. Slam Cannon, I agree 100% with you, buddy. Man, look at that ortho. That, I feel like I'm taking off out of friggin' dust. Whoa, are we hitting some turbulence? What was that? We are hitting some turbulence. Let's set standard. Golly, that looks good out there, though. Whoa, we are getting rocked around. Let's go ahead and reduce speed a little bit. Let's do 290 in the climb out. Keep those seatbelt signs on. But yeah, the cockpit does, yeah, you're right, it doesn't sound as alive as it should. And you know, you come from the BSS pack on the flight factor, and it's hard to not notice the difference. It really is. But hey, that's all about to change soon. Once they get the once BSS is out on this puppy, it's going to be very interesting to compare the two aircraft again. Paul Tooley says, greetings from New York, England. Awesome, man. Good to have you. My sister lives in New York. Potato Pilot, the engine pilots modeling for the CFM are awful. Are they? Let's take a look. I don't know. You guys are very hard on these guys, huh? I don't think they look terrible. That looks pretty though, doesn't it? Alright, let's go on this side. We haven't been out on this side. Oh, sorry, I moved the camera a little faster. Are you talking about right here? I guess I could see a little bit. Well, here, we'll do this so you don't have to look at the pylons. Buki Malice says, greetings from New York City. When changing course to avoid bad weather, do you have to tell ATC? Yes, of course. You have to notify them of any deviations. Anytime you're off your scheduled flight plan, you gotta let ATC know, and they may not approve it. They may say, I can't have you turn right, I need you to turn left. So you're definitely in contact with ATC when you begin deviations. Campia 68, hello from Scotland. Nice. Daniel Smith from Britain. We're getting everybody out here. Good to have you guys here. Captain Geo says, well, FS Expo 2020 just announced the date for the expo next year. Ooh, really? Mr. Manti says, do you have a 321 Neo or a 320 Neo? I do not have one of those for X-Plane, Mr. Manti. The only Airbuses I have are the Toliss 319 and the Flight Factor A320. Andre says, Vertical Sim actually making new free project, his version of color-corrected ortho for USA state by state. Really? That should be interesting. Philly, Belgium is watching. Nice. Arcuser says, I'm at work watching your stream, hope not caught by my PM, so worth watching it. Oh man. I'm glad you're watching, man. Don't get busted. Don't get busted at work though. Alright, let's see how we're doing here. We've got a shorter flight, so I want to stay on top of everything here. We are approaching 274 miles from Corpus. Oh, JCP123 says the texture mod is compatible flying the Toliss. Awesome. Thanks, man. So, yeah, I would definitely check out the texture mod for the inside if you want to really clean up this modeling. I do think it is a big difference when you have nice, clean, crisp textures. And by no means are these bad. I don't think these are bad. I think they could be better, perhaps, but man, I still think it's really good. When you throw in the BSS pack that's going to come out, heck, I may not even throw the mod on there. So everything is looking good, though. Everything is looking good. We are leveling 290. We're going to change our... Can we change it? Let's go cruise. Let's do cost index of 10. We'll slow it down. No, that's too slow. How about 50? There we go. Manage that up. Alright. We're leveling off. It seems to have smoothed out. We'll get the seatbelt sign off for him. And what are we looking at over here? So our next chart is going to be... There is no ILS. Oh, I'm sorry. There is no star for Corpus Christi, so we're going to have to do our own little descent calculation, which shouldn't be a problem. I don't know why my Abitab seems not very crisp. There we go. Alright. Runway 13 in Corpus. I know one runway is shorter than the other. Just want to throw this in so we don't have to worry about... I think it's 13 is the longest one. We'll plan for a 13 straight in. Actually, you know what we're going to do? We'll get the weather in Corpus, and then we'll check. We might just do a straight-up visual approach. I know you guys have been asking for that. So let's take a look, see what the weather is down there right now. 120 at 14, gust 22, 10 miles, few at 300, scattered at 5, scattered at 16. All right, so we'll set up for the ILS 13, but we'll hand fly it. I was hoping we could do, you know, just pure visual and do a downwind entry, but it looks like we got to land on 13 with this wind here. So let's go back to our charts. And this is what we need right down here. All right. Checking in from Portugal, Agostino Santos. Good to have you, buddy. Flight Sim Guy 12 says, be nice to get working ATSU in the McDo. Absolutely. I'd love to have an ATSU in the McDo. Alright. The Q&H down there was, I forget, but I know the wind was 120. Was it 12 knots? We'll throw this in for now. 120 at 12. And, oh heck, we'll just go back. What airport was it? 120 at 14. Yeah, see, a little bug like that, like I can't just increase the wind, I gotta go here. Little things like that kind of get annoying over time. Alright, temperature is 3.5. It is nice and warm down there. We're going to have hot breaks probably, especially as a shorter runway. Q&H is 29 or 89er. Now I've noticed this in the McDo. Sometimes the boxes disappear. That's a Toliss thing. You should still have boxes there, but you can still input the information. So, alright, we've got our perf data set. Let's look at our charts. We're going to do straight on ILS, which is going to be 246, which is 200 feet above the ground. Not bad. But we're going to turn it off. We'll hand fly it into 13. So that looks good there. We'll just leave that be for now. We'll get this no smoking sign off. Although nobody's going to be smoking anyway. Flight Sim Guy 12 says, hey V1, how do pilots go about dodging thunderstorms building up on a route, coordinating with agency. You know, it's a good question. Typically when you have significant weather building up in an area, air traffic control is already going to know about it. So there's probably guys deviating already, and they're going to say, you know, hey, Alaska 159, or whatever your call sign is, that, hey, you know, we got traffic deviating north of course in about 80 miles. Do you guys want to go north, south? What do you want to do? That's best case scenario. Worst case scenario is they're not really paying much attention, or they don't see the same things that you see because they only have their radar. They're in a tower on the ground, right? Or in a control center, just a building with no windows. So when they're not painting anything on the radar, but you're looking out the front of the cockpit and you see towering cumulonimbus, you'd be like, hey, we're going to need a deviation. Sometimes they'll be hesitant to give it to you, but you're like, look, we've got towering cumulonimbus ahead, we need to deviate. You try to work with them, you know, if you can go left or right, let them know you can go left or right. But if you really only can go left, say we need to go left, you definitely don't want to end up flying through anything that is going to cause harm to the aircraft or hail or anything like that. So there was an Airbus not too long ago, an American Airlines Airbus, that entered some pretty bad hail down there. I think it was San Antonio during the summertime, and they just got caught in a bad spot. Hail is serious. It can really damage an airplane. So you try to work with air traffic control. They're normally pretty good about it. Pilot Boy says, feeling under the weather. Stream is helping me feel better. I'm glad, Pilot Boy. I'm feeling a little tired myself, but it's a short flight today. I wanted to get back into the stream game with you guys. I don't know. Hopefully I can get a few more streams out this week and get some more videos out for you. I'm just adjusting to new life as well, but hope you feel better, buddy. Pilot 1993. Whoa there, wind shear. What is going on with that? Let's just go ahead and get these seatbelt signs on. We're hitting some turbulence. Wind shifted 053 at 20 there. Alright. We'll keep the seatbelt sign on for now. Pilot 993 said, Toliss just released a giant update. Yes, we are in the update right now. Let's get back to some of the changelog notes here. So I already said they reworked the external model normals by Matt Designs. There's some smart co-pilot improvements by Max Waldorf. I believe that is the multi-crew, I believe, smart, or maybe not multi-crew, that'd be MCE. Smart co-pilot. I'm not familiar with that, guys. Maybe you guys know this, but either way, there were some improvements done with Smart Co-Pilot. Improved landing gear ground contact noise, so we'll be listening for that as we slam it down into Corpus Christi. Added sounds for spoiler lever, the brightness rheostats, avionics, ventilation startup, electrical DC relays. So that's, you know, when you're switching power from APU to generator, or you're on APU, you want to go to ground power. The rheostats that control the brightness, you heard that little click sound when you go from the off position to the on position. That's a nice little touch. So the ventilation was the biggest one I noticed when I powered up the airplane.
Retard.
You could hear the avionics, you know, start to hum a little bit. So that was an improvement from the previous version. So definitely some good sounds added, and definitely an improvement from the previous. One of the last fixes was a sound database bug that re-equalized the engine sound volume, so not sure exactly what that means, but that's in the changelog for you guys. On to the bug fixes, a couple of them. They fixed the marching ants under the PFD, so if you guys remember, if you don't have it updated, right here, excuse me, right here there was marching ants, and I can actually, marching ants, if you're not familiar with the term, I thought I saw some on the nose here. There they are, right there. So marching ants is this. You can see this right here. But I think that, I don't know if that's a texture thing, a model thing, but there used to be marching ants under the PFD, which that is gone. So that is really nice. If it's something that bothers you, once you see it, you can't unsee it. So it's good to have that fixed. They fixed the marching ants in the wing, so I recall it being pretty much along the flaps here. There's still some, but that might just be my settings. some anti-aliasing or whatever, but the wings do look good. So they fixed that. Improved flap animation. That makes sense. I believe that was... I really want to say that these pylons didn't move. I may be going crazy, but I think these flap track fairings, that's what these are referred to, the flap track fairings, didn't move properly in the older update, or in the older version, but from what I saw now, unless I'm going completely crazy, I think they adjusted that. They fixed a bug with the FD, or Flight Director, push button on the co-pilot side. It now removes the FD bars from the co-pilot PFD. So I guess if you turn the FD off, it still kept them on. I didn't experience that. I didn't fly from the FOC, so at least that's fixed though. Correct autopilot mode reversions and autopilot disengagement logic during non-precision approaches with MDA defined. So I haven't done any non-precision approaches. I'm hoping that refers to maybe getting an altitude call out with an MDA selected instead of a DH. This was brought up in the last stream. They said that, you know, somebody brought it up that when you enter an MDA, you don't get the minimums call. And I noticed that too, but that's incorrect. You should get the minimums call even with an MDA, because when we do anything other than a Cat 3, everything we put in the box here, we put in as MDA. Now that can vary on airline to airline and company to company, so that's just what we do, and I know that it calls out, so. Alright, and then just a few other bug fixes on there. Won't get too into it. You can read it yourself when you download it. Those are kind of the big ones that stuck out to me. Alright, how are we doing? We are approaching San Antonio, which is our top of descent. Vertical Sim says V1 simulations. I posted a screenshot of Florida V2 in your screenshot section. Awesome. I will check it out, Vertical Sim, as soon as we get off the stream. I'd like to see how that Florida's looking. Okan Nice says, hello, my friend. Hello, Okan. Good to have you here. Gaming Ninja Sheep, does anyone know if all the modded textures disappear when you update the Toliss? I don't know. I know I did a full reinstall of the aircraft, so I lost all my mods, but I just copied over the McDo from the Totomac mod that I had. And I'll probably reinstall that texture mod just to see if it interferes or disappears with this new version. But so far so good. I just entered some kind of cloud layer. We lost our ground contact. That's not very cool. Somebody wanted to see a cockpit tour or a cabin tour. So let's step back here. There's a galley, pretty standard galley. That's funny. Our coffee pots are actually on this side, but I'm sure there's a dozen different ways to set up the galleys in the Airbus. There's our fat panel, flight attendant panel, our toilet. Is there a toilet inside the lab? Let's take a look. Nope. No toilet. But overall, I mean, it's a pretty nice cabin. Let's take a stroll back here. Donation coming in from NASA 6. NASA 6 donated $39. Congrats on the baby girl, and thanks for the effort you put into these educational streams and videos. NASA, man, thanks for the donation, buddy. Really appreciate that. NASA's a good buddy of mine. We do a lot of flying together, so thank you for the congrats, and I'm sure I'll see you here on TeamSpeak relatively soon. But thanks for that donation, man. He's also a flight student over in Spain right now, so if you guys have any EASA questions for flight training, he's your guy to ask. Very sharp, very smart dude, so thanks again, man. Alright, we're out of that cloud layer.
Retard.
Salam Aviation, can you read the comments, please? I'm trying, man. Captain Clueless, Q8 pilot reviewed the Sim Toolkit Pro. You should check it out. If you do, I'm having issues with overlays showing flight details. Maybe you could shake it out. I'll have to take a look at that. I did see Q8's video pop up in my notifications that he reviewed reviewed Sim Toolkit Pro. I haven't watched it yet, but that's something I probably will because I'm interested in having everything kind of in one neat little compact toolkit. So I may be looking into that here really soon. I'm sure the video is top quality, though. Anything QA does is always top quality. All right, we don't want to get left behind here. We should probably start down soon. Now, one thing that bothers me is I can't do fix info on the Toliss. Or am I being crazy here? No, I can't. So what I want to do is put a ring around Corpus Christi, but I can't. Let's see if I can. Jagru after skids. Let's put in CRP, the VOR. Not allowed. Skid CRP. Let's insert that, and then we're gonna go. I'm trying to do a ring here. Let's do CRP, which is Corpus Christi VOR. Skip the bearing distance of 30. Format error. I was trying to make a custom waypoint. Yeah, I don't know if it'll let me do it. Alright, we'll get rid of Corpus Christi. Insert that, and let's go ahead and close this discon here. Insert that. According to our chart, Jagru is the intermediate fix coming in from skids, and eventually we're going to be about 2100, 1700 for our final approach fix. So we're going to start down here relatively soon. What's the airplane say? Top of descent 16 miles. We're going to dial in 10,000. Hope that, yeah, OK9, he was requesting the cabin tour, so hope you saw that. Sim Market Studios, how do you know if the spoilers are deployed on landing? You're going to get a flight controls are going to pop up right here on your lower ECAM, and it's going to look like, oh, that's fuel, flight control, and you're going to see the speed brakes are all going to have up arrows in them. That lets you know that the spoilers have deployed upon touchdown. And that's one of the call outs. So as soon as you touch down, it's spoilers, reverse green, and then if you're using auto brakes, you're going to call out decel or manual braking. BlueMax says, I heard Flight Factor's making us pay for upgraded LCDs in their 757. Ouch! Ugh. I don't know about that. I wouldn't pay for nothing. Especially if I already owned an airplane from somebody, and a small upgrade like that, I don't know if it's worth paying more. I'll keep my comments to myself about Flight Factor. I do love their 320 though. I mean, I do now anyway. When it first came out, it was rough, but as far as a business standpoint, I'm just going to keep my comments to myself. But if you are looking for an Airbus and you really enjoy good customer support, Toliss is going to take that every day and twice on Sunday. They've got a really active Discord. They really listen to the community and really get things done. So they are a very good developer in progressing their aircraft. Buki Malice says, can you request to use company simulator anytime as only company training? No, that's only for company training, man. I'm going to go ahead and start down. Let's go ahead and mash this in. We're in mock descent mode. Let's go ahead and put our TCAS in below mode here. There we go. And we are starting down. Let's get our LS push buttons on. Do a quick little brief. We're going to go auto brakes on low. And actually, it was pretty gusty, wasn't it? So let's go ahead and keep the auto brakes off. We're going to go full flaps, full reverse. We're going to try to save the brakes as much as we can. But 35C already on a shorter runway. We're heavy. It's going to be interesting. They're definitely going to have hot brakes on this one. But yeah, no, you can't request any simulator training just for fun. It is all company procedures or all company, you know, requirements. They're very expensive to run, very expensive. There was pretty bad clipping when you move the flaps. Yeah, there is a little bit of clipping when you move the flaps from the wing, so definitely needs can be improved there. Veda says, hello, what is this game? This game is X-Plane 11 Flight Simulator. It's not Flight Simulator, but it is a flight simulator called X-Plane 11. This is the new update from Faux TV. It is the new update. Ah, the Garudin says the fixed info page is the second thing they mention about the FMGS overhaul coming 1.4. Awesome. I really want that fixed info page. The fixed info page, guys, it's probably going to be in the next advanced MCDU video I do. We're going to talk about the fixed info page and some things that you can do with that page. It's really helpful, and you use it almost every leg, essentially. So we'll talk about that. I guess it's not modeled yet with Toliss, but it is coming at 1.4. Agostinho Santos says, does the real A319 start taxi with idle thrust? Yes, it depends on the weight, the gross weight of the aircraft. So if you're really light, then yeah, absolutely, you can start rolling, especially if you have two engines going. If you're really heavy, you may not. If you hear my dog yelling in the background, I apologize. I do have a hound dog. So. Alright. Custom waypoint will replace bearing distance. Yeah, PBD, that's what I thought I was trying to do. I was trying to make a PBD off CRP, but I'm sure I was doing something wrong. But the other thing too that I wish I could do is you could do, like, I should be able to just put in KCRP, and I should be able to go direct in my flight plan from right, you know, without having to put it in a destination box. So that bothers me a little bit too. All right. Anyway, hopefully we're gonna get that new update 1.4 in due time, but we'll work with what we got right now. We're coming out of 19.7. Let's get a little bumpy. Seatbelt sign is on. Altimeter was 29er, I believe. Yep. Let's just go ahead and just set that now. 29er, 8, and 9er set. And that's 10, 12. Oops. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. 29er, 8, 9er, 10, 12 set. 18.6, we are 18.5, setting for 10,000. Things are looking good. Captain Shifu, is the Toliss update out already? Yes, this is 1.33, I believe, is the number. But that is correct. This is the latest update. It is out. And it is, I do think I've had some frame improvements. I mean, I wasn't really having frame issues before, but it seems to be extra smooth right now, so if that was something that was bothering you guys previously, hopefully this update will help you there as well. Yeah, the flyby sound there is pretty underwhelming. Steven Tan says, will the weather radar be fully modeled next version like the tilt and gain? I don't know. I haven't looked at their roadmap yet, but it would be nice. I mean, I don't really mess around with the weather too much in the sim, just because, I mean, I don't know how accurate the weather paints anyway. I know this was a big problem with FSX, and you know, it's not painting, can't really accurately paint radar returns in a sim. You can only, I don't know. So I don't mess around too much with the weather radar in the sim, but as far as I can tell, it's not modeled right now, and I'm sure it will be in the future, maybe. But that's something that I'd have to look on the road map. All right, we're at a 15.5 now, descending 10,000 feet. So we're going to pick up this descent a little bit. Let's just go ahead and go open descent. Let's get the brakes out. And we're going to get that descent coming up. Very nice. She will drop with full brakes. Wow, look at that. That almost looks excessive. 7,000 feet a minute? That didn't look right. Speed alt star, 11.3 for 10. All right. Daniel Smith asked, what was the longest flight you ever flew? Ooh. Probably close to seven and a half hours, man. Probably the longest flight ever. Ernom 976 coming in with 100 SEK. S-E-K. What is that? That's what is that? That's Swedish krona. That's 100 Swedish krona, man. Well, I appreciate that, Ron976. Thank you, buddy. He says, get some sleep or beer, your choice. Thanks a lot, man. I hope to see you on the TeamSpeak pretty soon. It's been a while. I hope you're doing well. But that's really, really generous of you, Erdog976. Thanks, buddy. Thank you for the support. Glad you tuned it in, enjoying the content. Sleep or beer? I think I'll choose beer over sleep right now, but that may change. All right, we're getting in tight here. Let's go ahead and reduce speed. This is select speed 250. Man, I wish, I don't know, I'm having a hard time manipulating these knobs right now. There we go. All right, we're going to slow down to 250. We're going to be high and faster if we don't pay attention. Let's get this little mini speed brakes out. That'll help slow us down. Janice says, weather radar is modeled. If you have active sky and fly through stormy weather, you definitely need it. Awesome. Well, I will, I don't have active sky, but I just didn't see, if the weather was on right now, I should have a radar tilt display right here. So I didn't know if it's actually actively painting or not, because the system is on, but if it is, it's not displaying properly here, so I wasn't really sure how accurate it would be. All right, here comes 10,250 knots. Let's go ahead and descend and maintain. What do we got over here? Eventually, we want to cross our final at 1,700, so we're looking good right now. We'll just maintain 250, get that speed brake back in. You can hear that clicking sound. That's the new sound they have for that speed brake lever. That's pretty nice. All right, here we go. Out of 10,000, 10 for 5, 250 knots. Let's activate and confirm the approach phase. Selected speed. And let's take a look at Corpus Christi. 2300, 1200 scared, 180 at 8 now, 29er, 905. Maybe there was a small thunderstorm or something down there that screened that wind, but it should be alright. 29er, 905. What's this saying for? Let's reload it. This is still saying 12014 gust 22, so we'll leave that wind in there that we already put in the box. We are going into a vertical simulation airport, Corpus Christi. It's a Payware. It is really nice. I do enjoy it. I've already flown in a couple times before this stream. Hernom 976, Swedish Korens. Thanks, buddy. Nunu Verisomo. Hi, first of all, congrats Maybe on the way here too. Awesome, man. Any chance to show us your real view settings? Yeah, I'll throw those in here right now. I don't know if they changed from when I updated the airplane, so I may do some more tweaking. I noticed it seemed a little excessive when I was on the ground. Let's see, overspeed, stall speed. So this is what I have starting at the miscellaneous tab right now. I'm still messing with these. I don't really know. I mean, I know what they do. They're pretty self-explanatory, but I'd like to see somebody do a real good review on RealView. But these are my settings right now for the G-force effect, and then for main, this is what we have. So that's a little bit of my RealView. All right, we're 7,000 descending 5,000. Things are looking up. What do we got here? ICRP 110.3, auto-tuned. Should have a final approach course listed in there. 110.3, 133. I should have a line over here showing the final approach course, so they're missing that. Outside 7 says, I've noticed when you set certain thrust, the engines on the Toliss spool up slow first and speed up thereafter. On the flight factor, it's quite a linear increase. Which one is closer to reality? Definitely the Toliss on the non-linear thrust increase. And I actually talk about this on the professional series. If you just want to reference it, it's on the professional series videos on takeoff. And after I take the runway, I go into a little explanation of why the thrust is actually a non-linear increase, and there's a couple other reasons. But I do think that the Toliss simulates it a little bit better than the flight factor, because it is not just a linear increase in thrust, and it changes a little bit. So I do think Toliss have it, the thrust done a little bit better than flight factor. That may be an issue why their airplane was a little overpowered too. I'm not sure, but. Alright, we're level at 5,000. We're happy here for now. Let's take a look outside. Over some South Texas farmland right now. Not very pretty to those who like living in the mountains. I think it's pretty flat down here. Looks like there might be a little bit of a front or something that we flew through. Could explain the bumps. Joe Biden, hello. Joe Biden, are you the actual Joe Biden? Have they added the blue glow effect to the LCD screens? I don't believe so. Blue glow effect? The Garuden says, I don't think the tilt works, just the on or off, and that is all about you get with the radar plugin. Oh, I gotcha. Okay. Captain Shifu says, yes, they have, just more prominent at night. Yeah, it might be. We're midday right now, so it's very hard to see any type of, let's see, blue glow, but maybe at night would be a little bit more prominent. Alright, how are we looking? We are approaching 27 miles from Jagru. Get a few more of these comments in. Also, if you're having, if you do have RealView, I believe my crashes during the streams and the replays was due to RealView. So I've been pausing it now, or I've been disabling RealView during the replay, and it seems to have been working. So just as a heads up. See, this is at 6.6, so it's just looking at, oops, don't need that. Let's go back to our chart here. Well, we got down a little bit early. Seavis, right here, the initial 6.6 miles at 1,700. So we're looking good. We're ahead of the game. Oh, 5,000. Depending on traffic, they may get you in pretty low here coming into Corpus because you got other airports around you, such as where are the arrivals for it wasn't this one here. It was Randolph Air Force Base. It wasn't Houston, but I remember coming in pretty low into Corpus a couple different times. I don't know if it was just because we were flying freight and they wanted us out of their way or what, but alright, Jagru out of below 1700. Let's go ahead and set 2000 now. Open a descent. There's our localizer and slope. We're below it. Let's set 3000 for now. If I had ATC, they'd be vectoring me in here, obviously. Then we're gonna get down and then we'll slow down. Daniel Smith says, "Will you and Flight Deck Sim ever stream together?" Man, I hope so. I'd like to. That'd be fun. I think if I flew the 7.3 and he was right seat in the 7.3, and then when we flew the Airbus, he could fly it and I'll sit in the right seat. But I'd love to do that. He seems like a good dude. I've watched some of his content. I know he just flew the Toliss the other day. That was pretty fun. But yeah, I'd love to do a multi-crew. The thing with multi-crew is I really want a good multi-crew platform to come out, such as that. I don't know if it'll be good. I'm hoping it'll be good. That FlyJ Sim multi-crew platform they got coming out. So hopefully when that gets released, it'll be much easier to actually do a multi-crew, and we can hop in and do some multi-crew flying. Speed break out. Here we go. All right. Captain Shifu says, by the way, you don't need active sky for the weather radar to work. The weather radar interprets X-plane weather data refs, which are written by active sky. I got you. Raymond Thompson says, hey V1, I vaguely remember you mentioned something in another stream when talking about altitude to be configured for landing. Yep, 2,000 feet above touchdown at 180 knots at flaps 2. So flaps 2, 180 at 2,000 feet above the touchdown zone, and you're going to be set. So there is our 2,000 foot mark. I can see Corpus off the corner of my eye. Let's go ahead and start getting that speed back. 180. There we go. Speed alt star. Super chat coming in. Message retracted. What's up? I don't see your message. Somebody came with a super chat and then retracted their message, man. So I apologize. I don't even know who dropped €5 there. I'm sorry, man. Below VFE, here we go. Flaps 1. There they come. We're slowing down. Alright, VFE next minus 10 will be just about now. Let's go flaps 2. Yeah, I still think that flap extension is a little fast for my liking. Alright, we're flaps 2, 180 knots. We're cleared approach. Cat 3 dual, autopilot 1 plus due. Lokes is captured, glide slope blue. We'll go ahead and simulate that, turn that on, ding the flight attendants. And we are just getting ready. So 2,000 feet above touchdown, 180 knots, flaps 2, we are looking good. We do not want to configure though all the way to full and be flying in level flight. So I'm going to just hang tight here at flaps 2, 180 until we begin our decel, or our descent, or our capture of the glide slope, and then we're going to go ahead and configure fully for landing. Outside 7 says, first time I donate, I messed it up. No worries, man, Outside 7. Shoot, if you got a message, man, send it. Thanks for your donation, man. Thanks for your support. I really appreciate you guys supporting the channel. It's great to be back. Great to be streaming. All right, here we go. Let's go manage speed, gear down, arm the speed brakes. There's 2,000 above touchdown. VFE next to minus 10, flaps 3. VFE next to minus 10, flaps full. Landing checklist. Cabin crew is advised. Auto thrust is in speed. ECAM memo. Landing all green. Landing checks complete. We're clear to land. All right, we'll go ahead and disengage the autopilot. Let's hand fly it. Now I have my autopilot bound to my Warthog stick, guys. And make sure when you're disconnecting the autopilot, you always disconnect it from the side stick. This little red push button right here. Never disconnect it from the FCU, because that actually triggers a fault. The aircraft thinks that your aircraft is had a failure, and you're actually going to get a red autopilot ECAM over here. if you disconnect it improperly from the FCU. All right, we're starting to settle in here. Let's get back on the glide slope here. I haven't flown in a while, guys. This actually is good. This will help me when I come back from my leave. I have to up the streams, get current again before I go back to work. I'm already feeling pretty rusty. All right, we're back on the slope. Let's get that nose over a little bit. We're hand flying. The Airbus hand flies beautifully. Don't be afraid to hand fly this baby. We got 2 whites, 2 reds. Nice and stable. Sinking 7. Knot crosswind shouldn't be a problem. Here's a short runway though, so we're going to get on those brakes a little bit early. Landing. This is the Vertical Simulations Corpus Christi as well. Beautiful looking runway. If you guys don't think it's that brown down here, it actually is. It's a lot of brown down here in southern Texas. All right, we're visual with the runway. There's our minimums. We're getting a little high. We're going to go ahead and sink it down now. 2 whites, 2 reds. The glide slope is not coincident. Looks like the localizer's off a little bit here too. We're down. Spoilers. Reverse. Come on, green. There it is. Manual brakes. 145 feet per minute. We came across that threshold a little low. 35 feet though. That's pilot induced. 70 knots. Idle reverse. We can stow them. We'll take the next left. Welcome to Corpus Christi, ladies and gentlemen. 145 feet per minute. 1.07 G. Look at that. From center line. 0 feet. That's how it's done. 0 feet from center line. Alright, this is a small turn here. I don't even know if this one's approved for an Airbus, but we're going to do it. That threshold, you always try to make it 50 foot. At least that's our procedures. Short runway, you know, gets a little tense. Tend to sink it. Tend to drag it in. You don't want to drag it in like that. So we'll watch again in the replay. The replay is such a great tool for sim, you know, even if you're a real pilot, you know, and you just want to work on landings, maybe you're a GA pilot, it's so nice to have the replay tools and be able to critique your landing from views that you may, you know, you're not going to see anywhere else. But all right, we're on the ground. Let's get back to the ramp here. Let's get an after landing checklist. We can go ahead and do that. Retract those puppies there. I can go into standby. Let's go ahead and get the APU fired up. Let's start the timer as well, because we had full reverse. Kill these lights. Taxi light can stay on. Everything else comes off. Welcome to Corpus Christi. We'll get to some of those comments here, guys, as we're taxiing back to the ramp, and of course during the replay. Outside 7 says, no need for a message. It's great what you do to the community. Hey, man, that means a lot to me. Thank you so much for your kind words, man. I appreciate that. Really appreciate that. It's great to be back. The support from you guys is unreal. All right, so we're going over here to this gate. I mean, you know, I'm in the hospital, and I'm getting all these messages. Everyone's saying, you know, good luck and congrats. It's just, it's a great community, guys. All right, flap is open. Let's start the APU. Let's not clip into the dirt here. Easy to do on these narrower taxiways. Coming in the ramp, we'll kill the lights. Alright, we've got safety area is clear. Clear right, and we're coming right. We're going to gate 1. That seems about right. Tell me to come right, really? Don't believe you. Alright, there we go. Let's set the brakes. And let's see, we're close enough to 3 minutes. We'll go ahead and secure engine number 2. Seatbelt sign comes off. Secure engine number 1. APU bleed. Brakes hot, ECAM. What do we got? Not too bad. 330 on that left brake. I was working that left one a little bit harder. But hey man, for 31C outside, we're heavy, short runway, I'll take that. Not bad. So we'll go ahead and clear that ECAM. We'll get the brake fans on now. These carbon disc brakes, if you're interested in how the brake fan really works, you don't want to turn that brake fan on until you actually reach the gate, because if you shut it down and the brakes begin to cool prior to their peak temperature, you're actually going to cause more damage than good. So, alright, let's cool everything down. Alright, we won't open up any doors here yet. We'll do a replay and I'll get to some of these comments. So, first things first, let's go ahead and go plug in admin and disable real view for the replay. Alright, and hopefully that will fix that. So, let's drag it back. Wow, Dougal says, wow, that ortho is stunning. Yeah, but this is Texas East Forkboy. Texas East on the Forkboy. So, where am I trying to go here? There we go. Let's go out this side. Did I talk about the auto brakes? Yeah. I didn't do auto brakes on this one because we have short runway, and I wanted to just use maximum reverse, try to keep them as cool as possible. So, that's why we didn't use auto brakes on this one. Don't be afraid to hit the like button. Thank you, Dougal. Maximilian123, that's why I didn't use the auto brakes. I just mentioned that. $5.60 coming in from Gaming Ninja Sheep. Congratulations for the new family edition. Thank you for all the great work you do. Thank you, Gaming Ninja. Appreciate the support. Glad to have you here. Like I was saying, man, you guys are awesome. You guys are the backbone of this channel. So thank you so much for the donation, man. Really appreciate it. Here we are coming in here. We'll do a couple interior shots for you, and then we'll go back. Ooh, there's the touchdown. That looked a little hard on the wing view. Spoilers. Looking good. We'll bring it back a little bit now. Let's try it again. Let's go. We've already watched that side. Where am I trying to go? That's where I'm trying to go. All right. We'll watch it from this wing. Basti says, how is the update? I kind of don't like the feeling of hand flying a Toliss. It kind of feels jerky compared to the flight factor. Maybe because they don't use custom outside the sim flight model. I don't know, Basti. I think I would, I might have to disagree with that one. It doesn't feel too jerky to me. Maybe there's some conflict with your joystick, or maybe your joystick settings need a little tweaking for the Toliss. I don't think it's very jerky. To me, I mean, it is a 319. It's going to be more responsive than a 320, not by much, but it you know, it feels more responsive when you're actually flying one, as far as slowing down, speeding up. But shouldn't have an issue with it being jerky. Beautiful landing, sir. Thank you, Dougal. What do I prefer from Basti, Flight Factor or Toliss? Man, it's like I said, right now, Flight Factor, just because of the sounds. You know, once we get the sounds BSS on the Toliss, it's going to be real hard to not be flying it. That's about her. Thank you, Albert. Outside 7 says, I find it floats a lot on landing. A Flight Factor sits down more firmly. Ooh, there was our Florence kit coming up. Flower pedal reverses. There's little marching ants right there. All right, let's back it up again. We'll watch it from outside. Let's go external. Runway view. Sorry about that. Watch it from here. Daniel Smith says, when I fly the 319, I use the yoke. Oh man, you can't use a yoke for the 319. Gotta use a joystick. Slam Kennedy says, good to have you back. Great stream today. Thank you, Slam Clan. Glad to be here. I thought there was supposed to be a new touchdown zone with a new update. I didn't really hear that. Maybe you. I'll try it again here after these replays, but let's get a little music in here. We'll get ready to wrap this stream up. Cassio says, can you explain the auto brake one more time? Yeah, so on the carbon disc brakes, their optimum performance is actually when they are warmer. We'll let this fly over here. A little underwhelming there. Look how low I was over the threshold. We got a 10 knot crosswind, center it out. Oh, right on the center line. I'll take that. Drifted a little right there. Could have used a little bit more left rudder. But so for the auto brakes, what I was saying is you don't want to turn the brake fans on as soon as you land and get off the runway, even if you get a hot brake heat camp, because if you start to cool the brakes before they reach their peak temperature, it's actually going to cause more damage to them than you would if you don't let them get as hot. So you got to let them heat all the way up, and then we cool them down. That's why we don't turn the brake fans on until parking at the gate, because the brakes are going to reach their peak temp just shortly after setting the parking brake at the gate. So putting the brake fans on right after landing is just kind of a waste. Let's see. Ooh, that was pretty good. We'll take that. I like that center line right there. I don't like how I continue to drift a little bit right. That was, you know, we noticed that in the flight factor a little bit. If you guys remember when we flew to Mexico, it seemed like, I think that's an X-plane thing. When you land with a crosswind, after you're on the ground, I shouldn't have this continuous pulling into the wind, you know, in an Airbus. I think that might be, that's interesting when you zoom way in there. That just might be a X-plane thing, so. But this will be the last one here, and then we'll call it a day, guys. I'm exhausted. I'm sorry it was a little bit shorter. I just wanted to get back into the stream world, get you guys some content. Be looking forward to some more content coming out this week, hopefully. Dougal says, I envy your job, but fatherhood again. You can keep that one. Thanks, Dougal. I appreciate it, buddy. Daniel Smith, yes, this is X-Plane 11.35. All right, here's the tower view. Here's the last landing, guys, and we'll call it a day. I did what all pilots do. Well, not all pilots, but I should have been better. I saw that short runway. I started dragging in here on the power. Not the power, but just on the altitude. I crossed about 35 feet over the threshold. I should have been 50. But I saw that short runway, so I wanted to get her down. Yeah, right there. That's too low to be crossing the threshold. Aiming markers, 1,000 foot. Here's the touchdown markers. Right on the money. So I'll just pause it there because that was so good. We should talk about it. Runway, this is your 1,000 foot markers, your aiming markers. And then these two sets of stripes, these are actually your touchdown markers. So the aircraft touched down right in the touchdown zone. Right on the touchdown markers, which I'll take that. All right, I said that was the last one. We'll do one more from this view here, and then we'll sign off. Nice little water tower over there. That's really there. There's our approach light system cutouts there in the dirt. Got a little bit nervous, dropped it down. 1,000 foot markers. touchdown markers. 0 feet from center line. Which that doesn't look like 0 feet from center line there, but when we touch down it was 0. Flower pedal reverse on the CFM. Alright guys, that's going to wrap it up. I really appreciate you guys tuning in today. It was a short stream, but I'm glad you guys were here. Thanks for all the support. Thank you for the donations, guys. Even the guys that are supporting the channel and you can't donate, you can't support it monetarily, I'm still happy to have you here. You guys are all the backbone of this channel, and I will catch you guys on the next stream later this week. Thank you for all the congrats. I'm going to go check on the baby and the wife right now. So I hope you all have a blessed day wherever you are, and I'll catch you on the next one.